Hey, welcome to Becoming Ultra. You guys are listening to Scott Jones. I am the host and creator of this crazy little world called Becoming Ultra. And thank you so much for spending some time with me over these holidays. So what is going on right now? Typically we're interviewing one of our runners that is training for an ultra, typically a beginner, a first-timer. And we have Zach Bitter coaching Eli from Tennessee. We have Liza Howard coaching Heath from San Antonio. I'm coaching a few runners from around the country, James and Red from San Antonio, James from Wisconsin, and Susan from Daytona Beach. You can listen to all these coaching sessions if you don't have the budget or the time, or you just don't know what it's all about to go hire a coach. You can listen for free, and that's what Becoming Ultra has been about since day one, almost 3 years ago. Pretty crazy. What am I doing today? Well, December 1st is tomorrow morning. I'm recording these all the day before so that I can get them out. And for the whole month of December, I am going to be posting a single show for you guys to listen to, learn from, hopefully get inspired, hopefully have something to throw in your ears during your commute. Maybe when your aunt is repeating the same story for the 50th time in a row, you can just put that one headphone in that left ear, jack it up. She'll never know. She'll have no idea. You got to keep that clear ear over towards Aunt Susie, whoever it is. Sorry, Susan. I don't know if you're an aunt. You got to keep that clear ear over to Aunt Susie, and you got to put that headphone, that little iPhone, or the iPhone white headphone right in that left ear. Jack up the volume and just continually shake your head while you're listening to the stuff. That's one way to do it. I actually prefer you guys be out on a run when you listen to stuff. But anyway. All right, so these are going to be pretty short as far as how long it is. That's what short is. That's the definition of short. So these are going to be pretty short. What I want to do with all these is I want to start off with telling you what the next episode is going to be about, and giving you guys some kind of inspiration, whether it's from the top of my head, things that I kind of relate from my coaching career, or things that I've read out there, just things that I've experienced. So tomorrow you guys will be able to listen to a show, and it is titled 3 Ways to Use Heart Rate on Training Runs. So that's pretty interesting. I get that question a lot from runners, so that'll be great. How do you use heart rate if you have a heart rate monitor or otherwise on training runs? Today is how to choose a race. And you can go to becomingultra.com/December1 for today's episode. Tomorrow it will be becomingultra.com/December2. This is important because with every single one of these, we're going to have a giveaway of some sort. It's going to be a PDF of some sort. Today we're going to give out a PDF of a list of some of our favorite 50Ks out there in the world. And today's topic is going to be how to choose a race. Okay, so how do you choose a race when you're ready to go for it? Before we do that, though, here's a thought. And this is coming from my own personal experience. Okay, you don't need any stimulation, whether it's caffeine or otherwise. You don't need Monday to start, the next Monday to start, the next Monday to start. You don't need 5 more minutes. You don't need caffeine. You don't need your kids to go to sleep. You really don't need more money. You don't need a better plan or a better program or a better coach. You don't need a quick snack before it happens. You pretty much already have everything you'll ever need. And that's really just yourself. And that is how I've been switching my mindset for how I get things done personally, professionally, and athletically. I think that everyone listening can understand that. We're looking for motivation. We're looking for inspiration, but really we just need to have discipline to get these things done. And we have to have that vision of the big picture. And I think running is athletically as pure as it gets when it comes to that stuff. So you don't need anything else. You already got it. All right, so how do you choose a race? Okay, so we have to decide, do you need to choose a race, first of all? So number one, I have like 4 points on this, okay? So should you? Can you put in the time? Are you going to be able to put in the training? Are you going to be able to do it without the guilt of being too busy or taking attention from something else that's important in your life? Training for an ultra takes a lot of time if you want to do it right and you want to enjoy it when you get out there. So if you don't have the time already to do the things you like to do, are you going to find the time? And if you can't find the time consistently, is it going to stress you out? This has got to be something that is energy-giving, it's invigorating, it's exciting. It's got to stay that way through the whole training season, whether it's 4 to 8 months, somewhere in that range. And you've got to look big picture and be disciplined with this stuff. You've got to ask family members, you've got to ask friends if they're going to support you, because it just makes the process so much better. So do you have the time? Do you have the ability to open up the time for yourself? So that's number one. Number two, when you are deciding on the race, Are you going to go local, or are you going to do like a vacation race? I personally love doing those vacation ones. I haven't done a lot personally. Typically, when I go on trips, it's to pick out like a crazy trek for myself. Like when I went back to West Virginia a couple months ago to do the 100K on my own with a route that I picked. That was fun. But so many people, like we're going out to Zion here in about 5 months for this vacation of, I won't say a lifetime, but Zion is just a beautiful place. And they have distances for all levels. They have so much to do if you're not running. So if you're bringing family out there, it's great. If it's local, are there going to be too many distractions locally? Are you going to be able to get the rest that you need going up to it? Are you going to have to worry about taking care of your crew instead of your crew taking care of you? Sometimes that happens locally when you have family that don't really get it, or you haven't really prepped them, or you don't want to put the time in to prep them. Those are things to think about. When you're traveling, the budget is an issue. Does your budget allow for it? We're trying to eliminate every stressor that we absolutely can so we can enjoy these things. One other one is the change of stimulus going to be as big a benefit as you need to get out of your hometown or your region. So, I'm used to running in the mountains. Is running down in Florida going to be a big enough stimulus change to make it exciting for me? I take that into consideration. I think a lot of people do. When Rebecca, who trained for the Minnesota race, she was training in a completely different geography and temperate zone, and going out there, the stimulus was definitely different. It's not always a good thing when you're going from dry to humid and so forth. But are those stimuluses? Is that change going to be enough excitement that you can kind of draw back on the excitement of it all to train harder and to train smarter? Number 3, time of year is always going to be important. So, time of year based on being able to put the training in. If there's a race that you absolutely want to do next year, but you only have 4 months and your base isn't there yet, you need to be smart about it. You can't fit 6 months of training in 3 or 4 months. You just can't. That's when people get hurt. So time of year as it pertains to weather. So I'm not going to be running an ultra. I'm not going to be running a mile in Florida. Sorry, Susan. In July, probably ever again. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, but that would definitely be a consideration. Weather, do you want to be running in the snow up in Vermont in March? Do you want to be running in the heat of the summer in Texas? I don't know. Those are things that I always think about. Time of year based on your work schedule. Are you a teacher? Do you have the summers off? Do your kids have the summers off? Do you have to watch kids based on the time of year? Those things actually are pretty big considerations when you're planning something that you have to train for so far out. And the biggest one is definitely the training. Are you going to be able to put the time in? So when I'm working with clients and we're looking at our schedule for picking a marathon or picking an ultra, we're looking at least 4, but ideally 6 to 8 months out. I have a client here in Colorado. She's about to run her first marathon. We're sitting here in November before we decided which race she's going to do, and she's given herself 7 months for her first marathon. And that makes me as a coach less stress. It makes the runner less stressed to realize that there's so much time to put in. So time of year is something that you should take into consideration when you're choosing a race. Number 4 is what races are your friends doing or people like you doing? People that you know and respect that are doing things that are similar, maybe at the same level as you. What races do they like? Word of mouth in running is the best way to figure stuff out. I don't know. Every time we travel, we're just going word of mouth based on what people are recommending, whether it's a hike, a run, a trek, climbing, all the things that we love to do, we're going on word of mouth. So I think for picking a race, when you're going to spend a significant amount of time, you're going to invest a lot of time, you're going to invest a good amount of money, believe it or not, whether you're traveling or just the registrations and going through a few pairs of shoes and all the stuff that comes with training for an ultra. Pick something that you know that you can handle because other people like you have handled it, and I think that's really good advice. I've gotten that advice in the past as well. So, how do you choose a race? I don't know. You just gotta pick one eventually. Take all those things into consideration. Get online after a couple cups of coffee or a couple cups of wine, whatever makes you happy, and scroll through, look at the pictures, see what gets you excited, see what kind of elicits some kind of emotional response after you've taken some of the stuff into account, and click on the registration, get your credit card out, and book that bad boy. That's how you choose your race. You just got to do it. All right, guys. So if you guys go to becomingultra.com/December 1, you can see some of the show notes from today. We're going to have a little PDF of 10 of our favorite 50Ks from around the world. Some of the people over on Facebook are recommending some. I'm going to recommend a few that I know of, and you can at least take a look at what's out there. I think you guys will appreciate that. So tomorrow, December 2nd, how do you train with heart rate on your runs? What are a few ways that you can do that? I think you guys will really enjoy that as well. It's a great question. People want to know. I'm going to go over 2 or 3 ways that you can use heart rate on your runs out there. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.